So we hot right now?
We've been hot for a while.
Oh, nice. Hot mics, huh? Hot mics.
I mean, you've been recording audio for the last 5 minutes.
All right, I love it. Thank you, Keaton, coming back from the studio.
Gunshots.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh!
I feel right at home.
Hi, caramba! It's going to be a wild one. I am so rusty. Leave it to Rick Herrera to pull me out of my podcast funk. It's been a year and a half. Welcome back to this Juan time. Pull up a chair. Tonight's guest is the very famous Rick Herrera.
Yo,
what's up, brother?
Good. Thank you.
He is an awesome artist, magnificent storyteller, awesome songwriter, a great husband and father. I've seen it. Thanks for coming on, man. And I'm excited to let you, tell your story and, what you're bringing to the Valley, to the Southwest, to the nation, to the world, man, with your creations and, just give the folks at home a little intro, please.
Oh, man. Thank you, man. Shout out to you, man. You're a man of many hats, too, as well, man. I'm a fan of your work as well. You've been sharing. I need to go to a show. So just been busy with everything. But no excuses. I will be there.
Thanks.
But yeah, man, I thank you for having me on your platform, man. I appreciate it. You're a good dude. So yeah, I'm an artist, storyteller, poet, wear many different hats as well, musician. I just love the arts. I love telling stories from my life. Making it funny, truthful, real, raw, and just being myself. It's really has become an outlet for me to really find healing through the trauma of my past with laughter and some light, along with going to therapy too, because I do that too.
Yeah,
Shout out to therapy.
Good. Shout out.
But yeah, it's something that brings so much layers and joy to my life. And also seeing how it affects other people's too. They're like, hey, I connected to this, or I can relate to this. You provided, some clarity for me, or I need to go back to the drawing board and revisit this in a different lens. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm a husband and father as well, which is dope. And I'm living life, man. I'm figuring shit out as I go.
I like it, man. Let's work backwards. Let's work backwards, man. So, you landed in AZ.
Yeah.
I think I found your work through our mutual friend.
Yeah. Let's dive into that. Because I knew of you through my comedian friend. I'm sorry to cut you off, but real quick, Audie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And then I end up following you because I just started following people that I'm like, oh, he's cool or she's cool, and I follow them, right?
Yeah.
But then you end up coming to the show. That I'm like, oh shit, this is dope. Like,
yeah.
You came. So
I sent something different.
Yeah. So yeah. What was that? What happened? How did you embrace me?
Yeah, well, I see this guy Rick, and I'm like, okay, this guy's got a look, he's got character. I look at your pieces. Well, honestly, because Audi had also asked me to be part of her storytelling show, and then lo and behold, the universe throws a storyteller into my realm. And it's somebody actively doing a show right now that I could go check out. So it's something that. I don't know, man. Like people ask me, like I never grew up saying, "Oh, I'm a musician, I'm a comedian, I'm an actor, I'm this, I'm that." Like I played sports growing up. I loved playing sports, and that was about it. I could draw. I like to be funny. I like to make people laugh and be comfortable and all that. But like I never considered myself all these things. But then people start asking you to be part of certain, things. And you're like, I guess that is kind of me. So when she asked me to be part of her storytelling show, and then you came across my radar, I don't know exactly how, but it was on Instagram, and I saw your work, and I immediately told Sheila, I was like, you got to check out this guy Rick. I was like, and he's got a show coming up. I was like, we're gonna set it aside. I'll make a point to show up. And then I'm at work. I work at a music store, and there's a guy in there, and we were vibing. I was showing him some basses, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to the storytelling show, and he's like, yeah, me too. Is it Rick? And I go, yeah.
No way.
Yeah, man. I was like, I'll see you there in a couple days. And yeah, he was there, and it was awesome to see.
Do you know his name? Or
black dude, bald, glasses, big smile.
He was a poet as well?
Yeah.
Corey.
Yeah, Corey sounds right. Yeah.
I met him through the Ghost Poetry scene, and I didn't know he was going to come to the show. That's cool.
That's it, man. That's it. And so, like, amazing. I'm like, I gotta support this dude and what you're doing and what you're bringing to the table, because it doesn't come across like I am a man of many hats, and look at all my talents, and look all good. No, it's raw. It's raw, and that's where it really touches, because if you were saying what can I do to appeal everybody, then you almost don't reach anybody meaningfully. But if you say, I know not everybody would get this, but the people that need it will, and those are the people that come up to you afterwards, and it's like that one thing you said.
No, what you did. I'm not gonna share what you shared.
You can. I mean, I'll say it.
Okay, I'll say it. No, let me say it.
Yeah.
No, but I remember after the show, and we'll get to the details of my story and stuff like that. But I remember after the show, I mean, that's the number one thing that, like, it's not about the money. I don't make tons of money off of this. Like, I try to break even at most.
Yeah.
And if I do make some change, it's great. It's just
goes right into the next thing.
Exactly. You get it. But the number one thing that's infinite is when people come after the show and share words of affirmations or their connection to the show. And I remember you said, man, thank you so much for sharing what you shared. I have trouble sometimes to, communicate certain things to my significant other and stuff like that. And there was a scene in there where you show that. And my thing is always either with I'm paraphrasing, but my thing is either with music or the arts or whatever. But to actually have a sit down and talk to someone about things, that's tough for me. And seeing that on stage and you doing that, man, thank you for that. And I want to see more of that and stuff like that. I said, thank you. And,
it meant a lot.
And I was like, check in a sense of like someone felt something.
Someone felt that.
Someone took something out of this, and I'm like.
Well, because you, why do I continue doing these things? Why do I continue putting myself out there and creating and this and that? For one, it's like, it's just in you and it's yearning to get out in general. But the more people that you can come across that connect with it in a certain way, you're like, oh, that's fuel. It's like every time you're running on empty, and all of a sudden there's a gas station and you come in and somebody left $1 on the pump. And you're like, oh, all right. And that gets you to the next gas station. And you're eager to get moving. And next thing you know, you're just running out of gas again. And then somebody comes up and was like, Rick, man.
Yeah. It's natural, man, to feel that as an artist, to like, for me, I know I question, does anyone care what I have to say? And is people going to actually come and see that and support? And I know I have something that's worth hearing. I know I put in the work, and I'm confident that I can connect to an audience. I know my abilities and where I'm trying to go to reach further into my abilities. Is anyone care to come? And that's a good thing to question as an artist. I feel like you got to, as a human being and as an artist, you got to question yourself. That's where a lot of the feel comes from, because that's where the challenges come. Is like, okay, well, I don't know the answer yet, but I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. Right. That feel to like, let me see, me going back to New York and seeing it. Yo, I'm going to be honest. And coming to Arizona, I didn't only knew like 4 people. Yeah. And you end up getting 100+ people, or whatever.
Amazing,
and I'm like, holy shit. And I have my fears, I have my doubts, I have my insecurities, but I have people that support it, and they're like, yeah, we want to check this kid out. We've been seeing, before he did this one-man show, what he's been doing around the valley, just storytelling. And it's just a confirmation. Rick, keep being you, keep sharing your stories, keep working the craft. It's reaching people, it's hitting people, because at the end of the day, people do want to feel, and people do want to have a sense of like connection, more than just the jokes all the time. And there's a place for it, right? That's great. I love that. Right?
Yeah, of course.
But people they're thirsty for like jokes and like, oh man, I haven't felt this in a while. Even if you're the most toughest dude, you're like deep down like, oh yeah, I felt that too, but you ain't gonna get a tear from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of them come up and give a hug, like, yo, man, thank you for that, because I thought about my father, and fuck that motherfucker, but yo, I fucking miss him, man. And then they'll leave the hug. I'm like, all right, man, I'll see you next week, man. Like, when you do storytelling, good stuff.
You're like, yeah, Rick was crying on me, baby.
Yo, this guy kept doing the show after the show. He was crying. I had to hold him. You know how it is.
No, that's it's exactly what happened. You said a piece, and it was the same piece that really resonated with Sheila when it came to like, she's listening, taking to in her own. But you kind of think about like, oh, that probably stuck out to her. When I'm like listening to like your love story, with you and Cloud, who's I haven't talked to her, but she seems
Yeah.
like a magnificent person.
She is.
And so like I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm sure that resonated with her. But when we were walking out, and she's like, "What did you tell Rick?" And I was like,
None of your business.
"Yeah, right. You should have been there.
You should have supported me.
You should have been holding my hand, rubbing my back, wiping my tears."
It was Rick crying. I told you it wasn't me.
Ricky. You got Keaton with the Ricky.
This is the dark side of.
So yeah, what
Juan.
you said was you were writing something very vulnerable to
Yeah.
perform for people,
Well, correction, to perform for me first.
to perform for you in
Yeah.
front of other people,
And then eventually.
and your lady, your significant other, your everything says, "I've never heard that from you, or why don't you open up to me like that?"
Yeah. And do I have to wait for you to write a show to know how you feel?
You know how many times I've written
gunshots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Boom. You were like,
Which
you
is
like,
a true
"Oh."
factual line that happened. Because when it happened in real life, a part of me was like, bitch. But another one was like, damn, that's a good line.
Yeah.
And I did. I was like, that's a good line for a show that I want.
Don't you find that, dude? As performers, though, and like you're having a serious conversation, you're hanging with family, you're like, hold on, I gotta step away.
Right.
I have to write this down.
It's like you live this double life of like, okay, I'm being human. I heard you. Yeah, well, I sympathize, condolences. But damn, would be good.
Because you know why? What we said about this podcast is that resonated with you, and now you can use that exact message to perform it or broadcast it
Facts.
out to touch other people. That's it.
Facts.
That's
Yeah.
all it is. So it's
I tell people all the time, when you're writing stuff and you feel like there's a block, or you're like, I shouldn't write that, or you're feeling something, write it, because what you're gonna feel, eventually the crowd is gonna feel.
Yeah.
Because it's just inevitable, if that's even a word that I said right. But you
we'll reverse it.
put it
and
in
then
post, fix it in post.
We'll flip it and reverse it. Yeah.
But back to what you were saying of like, that line that it hits you and Sheila in two different ways.
Yeah, because I write certain things, or for an act, or for my storytelling show, and or when I talk to just talking to people and trying to level with people and be real with people.
Yeah.
And when they share their vulnerabilities with me, then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like do that. Here, I reciprocate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, I never heard that. I never heard that story. I never knew that. And she's just like, why do I have to hear these through other people? Or for other, like, why can't you be that open with me? And it's like, that's tough, dude. Because as a man, it's like you feel like you have to have it all together.
Yeah.
You have to feel like, hey, don't worry, I'm your rock. I got you. I got this. So if there's any inkling of me feeling insecure or any anxiety of some sort, I gotta push that shit down, because I gotta be her rock. know, and what you realize is when you have the right woman, when you have the right partner, the right man, they're going to appreciate that you let down your guard, so now they can come in and hold your hand and walk that with you.
But every rock got to be held sometimes.
That's true, man.
Not every rock on the floor, eventually someone picked up that rock and threw it, right? Or just like, like my daughter, she loves rocks. She picks them up, admires them. So sometimes we got to be that for not everyone, because I will admit I did have a block, right? But once I felt safe, I had a safe space with a significant other.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm feeling this way, or I'm feeling that way, or I wrote something that I want to share. What you think about it? There's different ways, and she appreciate that honesty.
Yeah.
So for you, I would say, be that rock for her, but also let her hold you. Be that rock that she could hold.
I do now, I don't mind being the little spoon. Yeah. You're too big, man. You can't not be the little spoon.
You cradle me.
The little ladle.
You can't be the little spoon.
You can't be the little spoon, man. Cradle the ladle over here, bro.
But I was gonna say too, like, if also like, you like you said, like, yeah, I'm working through it, I'm good now. But you, like you said, sometimes use your creativity to share certain things with her. Right? Let's say, like, I can't put into words right now as a face-to-face to tell you, like, this is bothering me because X, Y, Z. But hey, I did create a poem, and this has all the things. And
Let me act out this piece in a full number.
Absolutely, she's dealing with a creative, so it's not like your first date. So how? So tell me about yourself. Where were you born? Well, funny that you said that, and put on these glasses, because there's a character that I've had that is my father, and like you do this whole monologue, like it won't be weird. But if you did it for her, like, hey, I want to discuss like a trauma thing that happened that I just want to let go, and it happened with my dad. So I'm gonna do a piece right now of a monologue, me talk about my dad, and I may be him for 5 minutes, but that's gonna thing, and you'd be surprised. She'd be like, she's looking at it like as an audience member, but also as significant other, and then she may ask a question that may trigger something that you didn't think about when you was writing. Like, hey, how does this made you really feel in this moment, right? Before you know it, you guys are communicating through art and through being human beings together as a couple.
Damn, dude, you just fucked me up.
Gunshots.
You just fucked me up, man, because I guess I have seen that before, but like writing something in the vein, in the point of view of the person that hurt you the most, or just there was a situation that really kicked you, right?
Yeah.
And just writing it, doing the exercise of writing it in their point of view, in their perspective, in the sense of they still felt like they were doing everything right, but it had the complete opposite outcome, and how therapeutic that would be to just, okay.
Absolutely. 1,000,000%. When I do these shows, these one-man shows, right? There's so many layers that I go through. One, I'm writing this for me. I'm letting it go as a book to decompress, to let go, to find things. But while I'm doing this, while I'm on this search, while I'm on this hunt to create and write and let go, I'm putting myself in other people's shoes. So like with my first show, I had to put myself in my mother's shoes and why she is who she is. Her world is only this, coming from Puerto Rico, trying to raise 3 kids on her own, all this stuff, not having nothing. I wish she would have supported in different other areas. Like all this anger and this, emo teenager anger that I had when I was years. Like now I'm older. Why am I holding this against this woman that did everything the best she could
and was growing up while she's raising you?
But I didn't see that.
You don't see it. That's what I'm realizing.
Absolutely.
Because, you look back and it's like, I'm 38. Well, how old was I as a kid when my dad was 38? And I think I was 8 years old. So now I'm looking at me 8 years old and thinking, well, this motherfucker should have everything together. And my mom should have everything together. But I'm 38 and I don't have everything together.
And they're human beings. And at the end of the day, they learn from somebody else just as bad or just as worse. Mm-hmm. I mean, just as good or just as worse, right? Yeah. They're passing that on. Yeah. So you're hopefully like their world, your dad or your mom's world expands just a little bit, right? Based on what they was taught, but they got their own trauma that they need to figure out. But at the same time, they got to raise their kids. So then now here you are, hopefully being a teacher to them because you're teaching yourself, where you feel like now I got to parent myself because they parent me as much as they could, up to a certain extent. But now the growth and the lessons is up to me now. I got to figure that shit out. Yeah. And now your world expands more than your previous mom and dad. And now you're going to pass that on to your kids. And guess what? You're going to fuck up too. But it's going to be better than what you got from your parents. And then hopefully she expands for the I wish that my dad would have did this things different. Like,
exactly.
It's a rolling thing of, hopefully of evolution and learning from it. And with these shows, it allows me to be in those different people's shoes and also be in my shoes. And then you look back, I'm like, okay, it was fucked up. But there's a reason why it was fucked up.
Well, I mean, the thing is that you rise above it, you overcome it, and then you use your lessons to help influence other people to climb out of their own holes. Yeah.
And I actually think I agree with you 1,000,000%. And it's a gift that what we have, right? Being artists, being, writing poetry, expressing ourselves, like, is doing so much more for us than the average person that may not, have these gifts of like maybe playing music or whatever. Yeah. But they could still write, right? So they could do all these things, but it also helps us, like I mentioned, or even like with my wife, I'm like, this is what I'm going through. Here's a poem about it. And let me know what you think about it. And then she'll ask questions and be like, oh, how did this bother you? Or where this was that? And once again, we're not in therapy, but we just, with the gift that we have, we were able to now create a communication through art.
Yeah.
And I think that's beautiful. And it's not, I used to hear a lot of things like, oh, the comedian's got to be traumatic to be funny and this dark past. Yeah, that's part of it. But why are we looking at this thing as like, why did you give me these gifts? Because now I got to make fun of my trauma. I was like, no, it was given to you for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So use it for the right reason.
Yeah.
Not only to, learn from it, but don't be a victim to it. Like, use it to escape what you're trying, or to not escape, to learn from. And then in turn, while you're healing yourself, you don't know what that's going to do with everybody else.
Yeah. Exactly, man.
It's the human experience.
So people are going to watch you heal and they're not working on that. And they're like, how are you leaving me behind? What's going on? It's like, no, man, you have to work on yourself as well, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I also like to say, like, you see a one-man person up there doing a show, but there's a whole bunch of people. Before I ever got on the stage, there's so many people that helped me in my life to get me to this stage, to this level. And the one big person, of course, is me, because I never gave up on that. But there was a lot of people that helped along the way, and I don't think it's impossible to get through this life by yourself. And I wouldn't want it to be that way, to be honest. Yeah, I was always independent and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I always had people that I could talk to, us. Yeah. We're having a moment talking, discussing about life and different things. Mm-hmm. All that helps. I'm like, Wong share something, or we were just talking, two men talking. You don't know how great it is just for two men to talk. Yeah. Yeah, it's great to talk about boobs and ass and titties, but can we cry next to those titties too? Like talk about trauma too while we looking at an ass? Like it's like, let's have all these colorful conversations that we could have, and it's okay, and it's not gay. Like, and even if it was, oh well, like everyone has feelings.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. And that's why I like to be, as open as I am about, the shit that I've dealt with, right? Just because I feel like it connects people more on what you've struggled through and were able to overcome. Yeah. And then they can share their story, and we can find kind of like what you're made out of, right? It's kind of like when you pick or you bully on somebody, just to kind of see, let me see what you're made out of, Yeah. And then you're like, okay, I do respect you,
What I know you said that I see the bug, and I see that you want to do more of the storytelling thing. What's been pulling you to go to that route? Because I know you're, artist, comedian, poet, all that stuff too. Yeah. But now you're like, I know you also mentioned too, like, I wanted to check you out because I'm also something that it's something I would like to eventually do. And you also did the storytelling with Audie and stuff like that.
That was so fun.
And I saw some stuff about it too. And I saw when you did the falling thing. I'm like, this guy is really in it. Like that's great. Like, that's dope. But I saw the joy you was having. You're natural up there too. So like,
that was good.
What's been pulling you now to like? Because same thing happened to me. I'm like, I want to do solo performance. Like, everything that I have been doing, I will kind of like now hone it into one thing. And this is the realm and lane that I want to be in. Yeah. So I kind of like see you doing the research, doing the things to like learn from and to do and put yourself in there. So I'm seeing you fishing and bringing in it. And I'm like, okay, I can use that. So what's been that calling for you?
Yeah. I appreciate Audie for, shout out to Audie, man, for hooking that up. And she told me she wants me to be a part of every show.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the next one coming up in Tucson, I'll be in Colorado, but I'm excited to, share the experiences I have with the theme of whatever night's coming up. I think it's just rewarding to kind of be able to share that with other people and allow yourself to get a little vulnerable and I don't know. I think that people do see that and appreciate that. Just like, with doing comedy, I would share a lot of the stuff like that I would bomb. Usually people only share the good stuff. Oh, look at this big laugh I got. Look at this, what I got. But there was a lot when I first started where I was like, this is a minute and a half of dead air. Here's 5 minutes of me telling jokes. And here's a highlight of a minute and a half of where people were supposed to be laughing, but they weren't, And I don't know. I think people do appreciate that. I would appreciate that as just someone looking on, just because I'm like, okay, well, here's somebody still getting after it, right? And still wanting to continue and share and let it be messy and not worry about it. Because everybody, when you start anything off, and also trying, just like I'm trying to get this idea out, it's messy. Conversations, emotions, feelings, being creative, like our mouth is limited with the sounds it can make to adequately describe the images in our head and the feelings and the sentiments. We're limited.
Do you find it more rewarding in the sense of like rewarding for you in storytelling that what you're doing?
Seeing your show was definitely like a wow. I'm very excited because I was watching the crowd and how it locked in they were with you and your story. And I said, I want to be able to provide a little bit of that with my performance. Because the storytelling show that I did with Audi was that time I died. And I told her, for one, she asked me to be on the show. I said yes. Then I invited her out to an open mic where I had a documentary crew following us.
Nice.
I had the band play. She saw me play and she's like, I love the connection that you have with your instrument. I want you to do the music for the show too. And I go, oh shit, dude. Like I don't sing. I don't write lyrics, you know. I can write some poetry, but it's not been my thing. Like I grew up, my mom was writing poetry all the time.
Nice.
So it's there. And
Continue.
I've written some raps.
Nice.
They're not called raps.
Just by you saying that.
I've written some bars.
Okay.
So I was in a hip hop group back in the day, and I was like, "There's some beats that aren't being used. Let me reuse them." I'll tell you what, dude. Sheila has never laughed harder at any joke that I've ever written, but she died laughing at all my rap lyrics.
Did you record that so you could share it online? No. It's a big laugh.
No.
He's not wrong.
I might.
Might be
Recorded tonight, bro.
good content.
I gotta find that. I don't know. She framed it somewhere.
And it's funny.
Yeah. I think she put it in a safe in the vault in the she didn't want me to
You'll
burn
go
it.
viral. You just put the saxophone horns in the back of it, like you know what I'm talking about, that meme that's going crazy now when there's danger around with the saxophone thing. Put that in the back while you're doing the rap and stuff like that. Like it'll go skyrocket.
Yeah. So yeah, watching people enjoy your show, and when I found out the theme, I said, very cool. Yes, I have a 2-part story for this. Okay. So I know you said 10 minutes, but can I go last? Because I'm sure it's going to be like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She's like, you're doing the music anyways. No worries. Go last. So I told a story about going down to Rocky Point for a comedy show I was performing in. And I passed out after eating a 50 milligram edible. Damn. Mainly, I blame Sheila, and she's like, "You can't blame me." I was holding my own until she started dragging me down, and that was the funny part in the story. Was like I was fine until she was like, "Don't you hear that ringing sound?" Nah. I'm like, "Oh shit." She's like, "Man, isn't it bright out here?" And I was like, "I guess it is bright." And then boom, next thing you know, I pass out. And so
that's the worst when you're going through something. Someone like, hey, did you see that? See what? Did you feel that? Feel what? Yeah. Like the anxiety's booming. Yeah, they bring you down the rabbit hole even more.
I could feel it. You know, when you get really high, you or when I get high, I start analyzing how everybody's behaving.
Yeah.
And the relationships between the two. And so like I know, I was like, oh, okay, it's hitting because I'm like I'm reading too much into things.
Yeah.
And then she like tapped me on the shoulder and she's like, hey, can we step outside? And so we go outside in the restaurant and I ended up passing out. So she thought I died.
Damn.
Well, for who knows? I fell, hit my head. I was stiff for like 10 seconds. And then I came to, was completely sobered up because I saw the fear in her eyes. Yeah. Came to, this and that. And so that has its own thing. I would love to actually record like film like a short indie film.
Yeah.
And with everything that went down that weekend, because that was like 20% of what went down. And then 4 days later, I decided to take a heroic dose of mushrooms. Yeah, once a year I make it a point.
Living on the edge.
Well, once a year I do make it a point. I'm like, okay, intentions. Like I'm feeling like I need a little bit more connection with the world, the universe, and I tell people I am I'm an atheist. Like I don't follow any religion. I don't necessarily believe that there's God, but like when you're under the influence of these mushrooms, man, there's something else out there.
Right.
And so I was having a beautiful trip, man. I was having a reconnection with a God presence, which was very feminine. It was like this motherly power. It was great, having a good time. And then like towards the end of it, just felt a complete shift. And I realized as I picked up my instrument that it was a crossroads moment. And I had a devil inside of me saying, hey, all this shit that you want to be good at this? You want to be this? I'll make it real easy. Look at this. And I started fucking playing. I was like, oh shit, dude. And we kind of like just went back and forth for about 20, 25 minutes. And eventually my inner shadow came out. Kicked it out, because we all have our own darkness already residing inside of it. And it was like, bro, we got this shit. Get the fuck out. And next thing you know, it was funny because I was listening to all these songs that I normally listen to when I trip. Yeah. I'm having that experience. And it all just felt so angry. Well, I was listening to Tool and it just sounded really angry.
Well, that's a Slipknot was there, but it's like, well, I think that's feeding into.
Well, and it was the pot, which, the pot calling the kettle black. It's like this angry song about that, right? So I was like, ah, shit, okay. So I ended up throwing out Hallelujah by the Pentatonics, like right after that kind of like was kind of coming to a close. And immediately everything lifted. And the cat, our cat, I was hanging out with him the whole time. But when I went to the bedroom, went to the bathroom, came back, when I came back into the room, I saw something in the mirror. And I was like, wow, what the fuck was that? Like a shadowy figure, right? And the cat looked up at me and was like, what the fuck? And left. Booked it. He's like, I want none of this. So I go, oh shit, there is something going on. Yeah. And then once I threw on Hallelujah by the Pentatonics, man, I have a connection. So it's like, I'm weird. My uncle's a deacon for a Catholic church back home, and he calls me the prodigal son. He's like, you'll be back. You'll be back. I'm like, I don't know. Well, I'm trying to figure this shit out, right?
Yeah, I think everybody's, I'm not religious. I'm not religious, but I grew up in a religious household. One thing I'm thankful for is my mom taught me the belief in having faith, right? Yeah, even though her faith was God, but I eventually learned that having a faith within yourself. But I do believe I'm more spiritual, and I know there's something more outside of our stuff. I mean, you don't have to be a genius, right? Just look at a dead body.
Yeah, it just feels like nobody's home.
Nobody's home.
Nobody's home. There was like you right now, filled with life. But if you were just you would.
I seen it. I mean, you've been to funerals. I've seen funerals, and I seen dead bodies. That's it. But something is going in there. So there's a spirit, there's a soul, like, and everybody got their own story of like, I remember like, don't go in that alley. There's that bad feeling of like, don't go there. And then you know what I'm saying? That's something telling you something. Yeah. I believe it's your spirit, but other people have different names for it. But I think at the end of the day, there's a spiritual presence that's outside of this physical realm. And you could block it off and not believe in it, but there's everyone has their own truth in it.
Yeah, no, there's something else going on. This feeling, because it's definitely interesting. I've done a heroic dose a few times now, and it's just like, it's not even like you're learning something. It's not like you're taking it in, like reading like a Wikipedia page on something. Nah. Where like you're reading the words and you're trying to decipher them and you're trying to understand the meaning of that and you're taking that information in. It don't feel like that. It literally feels like you took a USB socket and threw it in to your brain and into your heart, and you have this understanding. Yeah. And it's like, how else can you explain that other than there's something else in there that you're tapping into? And as creatives, we dance around that all the time, because when you show up, you don't know what you're going to write. You might not know what you're going to write when you step up to the plate. I don't know what I'm going to write when I pick up my instrument. Yeah. I just get to it. Just start playing. And then all of a sudden, this new thing starts flowing out. All of a sudden, you get a new line, and that line leads to another, and that leads to another.
But no, you know how spiritual that is, because that's coming from within. You're taking something from within and you're bringing it out. Mm-hmm. And something that's outside of you too, right? Because sometimes things, like, you could just feel like, I don't know, when you're jamming, you jam with people that nothing came out, but then you jam with people like, yo, oh, you hear that? And you just feel it. You feel the room shift. You feel the vibe. Same thing when you watch someone, like, oh my God, like, it's contagious, the energies around you and stuff like that. So it's a spiritual thing, man. 1,000,000%. Like, even just writing poetry, if you give it to someone that never did poetry before, but you say, wait, you want me to take my things and create a story with it. I can't do that, but to a poet, they can.
Yeah.
That's something that came so powerful from within that you wrote it. Yeah, I think just to create creativity, man, it's a frequency that's from the unknown and from the within that keeps growing. That you could just like when you write something good, and not even to perform it, but when you write something like you could feel like a brick of something or a rock off your back. Like, oh, I'm glad this was out. Or if you're talking to someone, like, hey man, thank you for this chat. Like you just feel like a release. You know, so
man, and sometimes you got to change the scenery, right? Like a transplant, like yourself. Like it's almost like the soil. And I'm not equating. I don't know why you moved here, but like say the soil back home.
Yeah, he Keaton, right?
You got it, Keaton.
Me and Keaton, we had a drug deal, but yeah. I think I technically just snitched, so I'm sorry. No, but
yeah, but you almost have to like uproot your plant out from that soil that's not providing nutrients anymore and repot it.
Yeah, I could dive into that, like why leave New York and then come to Arizona. I think for me, I had this thing that I was telling my wife. Was born and raised there, right? I was in Brooklyn. My wife was in Washington Heights, Manhattan, and we met the later part of the years. Mm-hmm. But when we was together, it started feeling, and I said to her, "Yo, I'd rather leave New York and miss it than be in it and hate it." Mm-hmm. And it was becoming that. Yeah. Like there was this shift of like. You know, of course, it was always violent, but it was getting more violent. The community that I was once around, where people looked out for each other, that wasn't there anymore. There's a lot, everybody has their own miserable life, but you just felt this energy was off. Yeah. And then you put the baby comes,
mm-hmm.
And then you just look at her, and I still go to work, and I'm like. I'm looking over my shoulder, like make sure I don't get robbed. Who this person? Good morning. What do you mean good morning? Are you trying to rob me? Like you all those all this defense. Yeah. I'm like, do I want to hold on to all this for another 20, 30 years? Yeah. And then do I want to pass this on to my daughter too?
Right. Yeah.
Like, hey, when you go out there, don't trust this. They say good morning, you don't say nothing. Hey, you make sure you go to the third cart of the train, because anything besides that you got to watch out, because they'll rob you. And if a fucking guy comes in the train, he's homeless, he starts jerking off, you make sure you get out the next stop. Also, don't trust anyone if they give you like all these things. I was like, do I have to train her? Do I want that? Yeah. Do I still want that for me? I don't want to see a homeless guy jerking off in my thing in my face at 38 years old. Like, so
What if he had a home though and he was jerking off?
That would be a little bit more acceptable. I was like, all right, man, I get it.
I get it.
It's a packed house. A lot of people there. I get it, man.
The in-laws are in town.
Just go to the back. Make sure my door don't see it, man. Right? I won't say nothing. But you start questioning the life thing. Like, what more do you want? Mm. What more do you want for your daughter? So you start thinking of like, what life do I want to envision for her? And while we start dissecting that, I'm like, man, not only for her, I think we want this for us. We want to change the scenery. Right. We wasn't also chasing Hollywood. There was a time, right, getting into the industry and stuff like that, we was chasing like, oh, it'd be great to have all these movie roles, then the money, blah, blah, blah. But the more you do it, you start seeing the reality of that. Yeah. There's a negative side of that, where the people around you, and you're like, I think how I've been guided has always been away from that and to continue from a pure place of creating.
Yeah, authenticity.
And I'm like, and me and my wife looked at each other, like, we're not chasing that. And I don't think we probably had it in our mind probably the first year in our career or whatever, because we're new to things like, you're going to be on HBO, Netflix. Blah. Right. But then the more you do it and you're seeing the possibilities, like, we don't need to chase that because we don't want that. So we don't have to stop. We can create wherever we go. Yeah. So why not move and try to chase, quote unquote, the next American dream of trying to own a home and stuff like that? Then COVID hit and we was like, yo, I think it's the time, let's do it. And then the ultimate thing happened where ultimately it was like, let's look to move. I'm coming home from work. It's early. It's 12 o'clock. We left early because it was Summer Friday. So it was my time to go on the Summer Friday, leave at 12. I get back to the block. It was around maybe 1:20 p.m. I get to now my block, and I see a whole bunch of cop cars and lights, sirens. And I'm like, okay, just another day, whatever.
Yeah.
But then as I walk closer, I see body outline in chalk. And I said, it is 1 o'clock. This is the time that my wife walks with the daughter to take a walk. And then I asked around, I said, what happened? Oh, this guy came, did like a drive-by, start shooting.
God.
And I called my wife. I said, are you home? And she said, yeah, I'm home. She said, why? What's wrong? You sound mad. I said, I'm fucking mad because someone just got shot and the body's outlined in chalk and I'm seeing it. This is the time that you walk the kid. What if that bullet would have hit you or choo-choo? I went upstairs. I said, we gotta go. I don't want to be around this no more.
Yeah.
That's all I was around my life too. And growing up in Brooklyn, there's good and bad to it. I'm not knocking it down. But I also asked myself, I don't want to be here no more to experience that. And I don't want that to you guys to experience that. And then I got to see it on the news. And then I get prayer hands and hearts.
Yeah.
And then I get a GoFundMe. And then you guys are gone.
Yeah.
Because of a bullet of an asshole that started shooting because maybe he didn't like him, whatever. Drug deal going bad, whatever. And you just got struck. And she says, okay, let's start looking.
Damn.
And then we had a couple friends that was over here, and then.
So did you put a hit on somebody?
I did. I was the guy that killed that person, and I didn't want to live that way no more. I was tired of it. Because in the end, I told my wife, I'm done. I'm out. I'm leaving this way. And she said, but babe, oh, you next? You want to get what,
to the cloud. Man, that's it, man. It hit way too close to home, and it was the straw, right? The straw that broke the camel's back.
And I wasn't afraid. And so I wasn't afraid to start over again. I wasn't afraid to be like, okay, because I went to Buffalo for college, didn't know nobody, eventually knew 2 friends from high school. But at the same time, I was primarily there by myself. I ended up doing comedy over there. I ended up doing stuff, right? I've been to different situations where I started off with no connections, no nothing. But one thing that always remained was my truth, my stories, and how I am to be myself, and be a good, genuine dude, and present that on stage as well. So I was like, okay, I'll figure it out in Arizona. What are the spots? And I didn't know anything. The first 2 years was brutal in a sense because I was adulting. And we had the American dream. We had the home. We have a mortgage now. Now we got to bust our ass to pay the mortgage, right? Found a job. Like all that stuff was cool and we were figuring it out. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was more happier. I did the check when both was like, okay, we got a home now.
Yeah.
Oh, but hey, we get to do our podcast next week. It was more excitement than always been with the creative stuff. Yeah. Where our parents would be like, "Oh my God, you did it!" Yeah. I'm like, so we achieved it. But like, hey, did you see this 5-minute storyteller I just did?
Yeah,
that went good. Cause it took so many hours to write this down. Like, that meant more. So the 2 years I was doing, adulting, I told my wife, I said, listen, I'm 75% happy. The other 25%, I'm depressed because I'm not creating. I haven't done anything for 2 years. So next year, I'm going to do an improv class. I actually just purchased a class. Yeah. And I need to have fun. And I left it as that. She said, okay, cool. I'm going to join one too. I said, it's time. Because at that time, we had one car. So I was like, on Sundays, I'm taking the car, blah, blah. So it was a lot of things. So I'm like, I need to have fun. I need to be a kid again. One thing led to another. I did the improv. And then everything started coming back. I said, hey, storytelling. I started Googling. Who did the storytelling? Yeah. I found different places. Storyliners, Dan Hall and Phoenix and the Changing Hands bookstore. That became one of my homes doing storytelling. Okay. And then I started questioning myself, right? Because I had this bougie thing. I'm like, oh, wait, they only give you 6 minutes? I was like, oh, no. Yeah. Oh, no, I do hour. Yeah. I do an hour. and it's like, oh, wait, I got to be by a mic? I did stand-up, but I do music. I need to move. Like all this stuff, this bouginess came out of me, right? That little ego that was there. And then I was like, okay, that's great. You got it out. Now show me the same way you could connect and get everybody to connect in 1 hour. Show me you could do it in 5 minutes. Tell that story of your dad in 5-6 minutes.
Right.
I challenged myself.
Yeah.
Do it. You got 4 minutes. Tell the story of your mother and stuff like that. The story of your sister, 6 minutes. Do it. And I went. And I said, and then I tell myself, I want to feel emotion. I want to see sadness. I want to see joy. I want to see laughter. I want to see confusion. I want to see you just be in it. 6 minutes. Do it.
Oof.
And I would write. And then I would go on stage and I said, oh shit. That made me a stronger writer.
Yeah.
That made me a stronger performer. I started.
Rick,
I don't need an hour.
I listened to Rich Roll's podcast, and he had a guy on talking about if you want true creative, the true creativity to come out of you, or if you're feeling like you trapped or stuck, right?
Yeah.
Give yourself limitations.
Yeah.
Say, write in this sense with this, and don't, like, if you say I got an hour, you're like, wow, I got an hour. What am I going to do? Oh, I can stretch this out. I can stretch. But if you limit yourself to certain things, maybe a certain topic or a certain point of view, you actually become more creative because you have to work within those rules and those
1,000,000%.
man.
And then you start realizing, oh, wow, all that other shit was fluff. This is the meat and bones of the story.
Yeah.
You start editing yourself. You start realizing, which I was always, well, not always. I grew to learn how to edit myself and see, like, you don't need this, or you could save this for something else. This is what you're afraid to say. This father point, you know, talk about that. Focus on the abandonment. This is the meat and bones, you know, talk about that. So having the restriction of like, you don't have an hour, and why? And if you did, would you want to listen to a dad story for 1 hour?
Yeah,
Shut up. The theme is music. What are you gonna do for music? What does that take you back? Take me back to the hood, the block parties that we used to do. You know, the different characters around me. Okay, now tell me that in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Can you? You know, I think eventually, like once I started doing that, I started learning so much about myself, and I started creating a repertoire of different stories that I can tell.
Yeah.
But I started realizing more like that you can tell any type of story. You don't need all these things.
Right.
Right. You just need to be you. And yeah, I could still paint the picture. Now, how am I going to paint that picture for me up there so then you guys can see it? It brought so much more colors for me being inside of a box of like, you only got 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
And the possibilities were endless. And then after I do it so much, you know, I would tell myself, oh, when I tell the story, I usually break out into my mom as a character. Okay, so do it.
Yeah.
Let that be part of the story.
Yeah.
Why? But no, everybody else don't. So
Yeah.
no one. They didn't tell them not to do characters. They just said tell a story and don't use a prop. So do it. So then I started doing these things where if it called for it, and if it just naturally, if I'm talking about my mom and there's a moment, I'm gonna break out into her, you know. So I started doing that where people start saying, "Oh, I love your storytelling. There's a style." I'm like, I'm not going for a style. I'm just telling a story as if I was. I'm talking to you now on a podcast.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I think the coming here, I would admit this even more. New York, you know, molded me, made me who I am, and I love all the lessons and even the trials and tribulations and what it made me as an artist. Coming to Arizona allowed me to flourish even more, doing these storytelling, doing the poetry, allowed me to flourish more in a sense of you only got this limit. You got to travel over here. It made me more hungry. I got to travel everywhere more, driving in the car.
Yeah, here,
so
like, so spread apart.
I was, and then people was like, wait, anything I learned quickly, anything over like 10 miles feels like it's Africa.
It does. And I'm from a small town, man.
Right.
Yeah, same thing, yeah.
So where I'm like, wait, you drove an hour to come here? I'm like, yeah, that's like normal to me. Like, so I'm like, I looked at it, I was like, wait, okay. You know, you got Scottsdale, Mesa, all that stuff. I looked at it as like, oh wait, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. I just started looking at, because people only in Arizona, from what I learned, only stick to the town that they're in, and that's it. They don't really branch off. Everything is a little different. But I looked at it as a world. I was like, man, I could do a storytelling thing here. I could go to Tucson, and over there I could do this. I could keep working the craft at different places.
Yep.
And it became, you know, Arizona. It became this a home to me, and I'm thankful for everything that it has given me lessons in friendships and
awesome, man.
connection. And it all started just me telling stories.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
That's beautiful.
It all started just me being myself, telling stories and connecting with people. I mean, look how we came to be. It came from a story.
Yeah.
You saw Audie. Audie saw me.
Yeah.
And then
I slid into your DMs.
slid into my DMs, right? And then you saw some of the stuff I put there, which was showing stories or whatever who I am, or being. People can recognize good people, and people can recognize when they're just not good people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, man.
And I think, you know, in the times that you kind of get fooled is that you're giving people the benefit of the doubt, or you want to just kind of like, you know, like hope that hopefully it's not like my intuition isn't right. But,
Yeah.
hey, so rumor has it since you moved from New York that you lived you have how big is your house?
It is 40,000 square foot. Man,
But didn't you guys just live in one bedroom for like a year because you had to get used to like the New York living of just.
Oh yeah, we decided to replicate the New York feel.
Yeah.
That we wanted to live in back of a Walmart in this little box. And then we had our neighbors. We put another box on top of it because in New York everybody lives on top of each other. So we wanted to replicate that apartment type feel.
I think one of the other questions I wanted to ask you the night of your show was you talked about your mom's cooking, right?
And my mom's show.
Yeah.
Did I talk about her cooking? No, I don't think I did.
I don't think I did. Maybe my fat ass was just like.
Maybe he was hungry.
Yeah, I think it was hungry.
There was. I mean, we could talk about it. It's great. Her cooking
Well,
is great.
I did want to ask. I think it was gonna be a fun question for me to just be like, hey, you talked about your mom, sound like a beautiful person. Like, what's her favorite dish?
She did. There is a line in there where it says like, Ricky, I made sancocho.
Oh yes, okay. All right. I
You're
don't want
right.
just me.
You're right. What was her favorite dish?
What's your favorite dish of hers?
It definitely okay. Number one, pasteles. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like the plantains and it's smashed and stuff like that, and then they put it's like a traditional thing for like for Christmas around the holidays.
Okay.
It's like you mash it up with a whole bunch of stuff and you put like meat in there, or you could put pork or whatever.
Okay.
And it looks like one big.
There it is.
Right, it looks like one big doo-doo.
Hey.
Sometimes people and then once it's done, you gotta boil it and stuff like that in the water for like an hour or so.
Okay.
And then it looks like that. Sometimes people put ketchup, and I'm like,
They almost look like tamales.
right. Yeah.
Who's that?
I eventually
File a complaint with the FCC right now.
Because they're already eating like plantains.
right.
So plantains
I
are
get the
almost
idea.
bitter.
I get the
And so you
idea.
put some vinegar sweet with
Yeah, I get the idea, but I don't know.
but-
In the household, it was like you did that. You're like my mom was like, you just ruined my patella. Like it was like mom, relax. He doesn't know. But eventually I grew like you could eat it with it. But pasteles, number one, and then number two, definitely close to number one, sancocho. And these are things that my mom you had to wait for to eat.
Yeah.
It wasn't a thing that you got like once a month. It
Right.
was like holidays. My mom is making pasteles because it's a whole process.
Yeah.
Like you gotta mash them up.
Ooh.
Yeah, all sancocho. So it's like
Oh.
it's literally like a gumbo,
Sheila.
Spanish gumbo.
Sheila, come look at this. I want you to make it.
It has
please.
meats, it has potatoes, it has corn, vegetables. It has everything. When you're sick, you'll eat this and you'll feel better and stuff like that. And this is something that you probably get once every 2 months, right? This is more like you get it more throughout the year. But then when you do it, you're like, oh shit, because you also gotta buy it, right?
Yeah.
You gotta buy the oxtails, you gotta buy all these things that you want to put into it. And then you see mom comes back with the bags from the groceries, you're like, oh, look, she just pulled out the carrots.
Oh.
She just pulled out the corn. Oh, yeah. She's like, the oxtail, that had to be on sale. You're like, mommy's making sancocho. So it was a whole thing. And and then you could put white rice in it.
Okay.
You can have it on the side.
Yeah.
But then you could I used to put the white rice in it. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, bro. Like you'll be so full and hearty. It's so hearty. Like my wife, thankfully, because she's Dominican, she makes it every now and then too.
Okay.
I mean, no dig on her, but it's still not the same. But it's still good. It's still good. But it's just something about your mom's cooking sometimes that there's certain things that they make that you're like, oh yeah. But my mom's getting older now, so she's
She back in New York.
She's still in Brooklyn. The skills are falling off a little bit.
I
She's old. I give her it's like Patrick Ewing. Like through the end of the years, he's not the same. So I still good. My mom's still good. She'll have a good night.
Yeah,
she'll have a good night. Like, Mom, you put a little bit less salt. I taste it. It's still good. But it wasn't like back in the days.
Yeah,
but she's still trying. I just think she.
Shout out, Mom. What's your mom's name?
Anna Gartua. Anna. Nah, but she's great, and even with our relationship, I learned as I got older, you get to appreciate them more, and you get to realize the certain things and antics. And I'm gonna be honest, man, my mom gave me quote unquote a career because a lot of the stuff that I talk about is her, and then me reacting to that
to her, yeah.
So it's like, yo, man, like my mom was just always naturally funny around the house too. Mm-hmm. Even her going to her, depression episodes or whatever, like. My friends would be dying laughing. I'm like, it's not funny. But then as I got older, I'm like, that shit is funny. Like, and then every time I talked about her to anybody, before I even brought her on stage, I was like, yo, she's a character, bro. I got to see her. And anybody who saw the show and then eventually, like, see her, they're like, oh, my God, I feel like I knew her. I know her already.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So, yeah, my mom, I love her mom, and she's dope. And she painted my ass. But I thank her a lot, not only for the love and what she was able to give us with the little bit that she had, but the love was tremendous. And just, even the gift of laughing and, being her. Yeah. She always, no matter what, she was always her. She's still around. So she is her. So she didn't fake the funk with nobody. Like, and I think that I instinctively, I carry that too. Like, be yourself. Yeah. I think that's what we all try to do every time we go on stage. Be as close to that as possible. As close. And then like don't give a fuck either. Yeah.
Because people sense it. Right. Oh, this guy really wants us to like this right now.
I'm not. You can keep doing it. I'm just not liking it.
Not like, into it.
Cut it. You was born and raised here. I feel like there's a podcast between both of us because I want to get to know you too. We're gonna be here for 5 hours. By the way. I don't know if you got any plans, but let me know.
I'm for it, man.
Right. Like you was born and raised here, right? So when was it that? I know you got trauma past. We'll get to that. But when was it for you that you start dabbling into the things? I know you mentioned you was being pulled to these certain things, like either acting or whatever. But what was it for you to be like, yo? Yeah, I was pulled into this, but I want to keep pulling myself into it to see.
So I guess we'll go back to the beginning, right? Growing up, I'm from a small town outside of Yuma. Okay. Which is halfway between here and San Diego. Yes. Super small town. Parents came here and then were naturalized. Then I was born. And I was always involved in sports and drawing. I drawing since like kindergarten. I remember my teachers complimenting, that. So like I knew I had an artistic gene. Any of like the class projects, the teachers would be like, "You do like the big one, this and that." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And like I had a lot of fun in school and talking with people, and I loved playing sports. Like I was very active, and then I started picking up music. Was always kind of around.
That came first.
Music.
You would think?
What's that? Like between
you think like what gave you the bug more that you like? Well, drawing came first.
Yeah,
but you
drawing
think
and comedy. Comedy in the sense of I wasn't a class clown, but I was funny. I would say certain things. Get a laugh. I loved comedy movies, comedy shows, just in general. Like grew up watching Mad TV.
Yeah, shut up.
And then music. Music was definitely something big in my life. Just my parents loved music. My dad was just tone deaf. He had a piano. He would buy guitars and accordions, but he couldn't play them. So they would be around the house. And it was a poor dude, man. He just could not, he did not have it in him.
Sounds
but
like my dad. He loved music. Yeah. We tried to do the trumpet. Horrible.
Oh,
horrible.
Man. And the trumpet. That's the worst one, dude.
Like, I saw you kept on hearing for hours. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, man. And so growing up, he listened to Los Tigres del Norte, just a lot of this shit you would listen to at quinceañeras and weddings and all that. And then my mom really liked Elvis and country. My sister liked gangster rap, R&B, all that. And then dope. I was just like, well, where am I at? Yeah. And I remember growing up watching MTV and VH1, and I was all about, pop songs at that point because it's like that's what's popular, right? You know, so watching all that, and then all of a sudden,
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys.
I was
degrees.
I feel like I was more Backstreet Boys, but
I fucked with them too.
I wasn't like
was my
I wasn't into it. You know, I was just kind of like that's what it is if I'm gonna choose, and then Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit and POD. That was on my radar, and I was like, holy shit, this is rock.
Come on.
Yeah, rock and the rap, which I like because of my sister. Like I love Tupac and
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah. Rage was a little bit later, surprisingly.
Okay.
I don't know why it took me so long. I've always kind of been like if it was in the zeitgeist a little bit too much, I was like, oh, okay, I know enough about it. Like I never really watched Star Wars, Indiana Jones, the Rocky movies. Like it was weird, like the shit I just haven't watched because like I feel like it was so much in the zeitgeist already that I felt like I had watched it, right?
Gotcha.
So I'm just like, whatever. And then growing up watching MTV and VH1, and I was just talking to Sheila about it. Like I always pictured myself being like that, you know, in that realm as far as like entertainment in the sense, but like I don't know how. I tried to learn guitar like 3 separate times, ended up getting a drum set, played that pretty well, did it for a talent show in high school, then it went to shit. I had a bass laying around and I was like, well, I can't play drums again because for one, they went to shit. And I did that last year. So 2 weeks, I'm gonna learn this fucking Sugar Hell Gang bass line. Boom, 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 boom. Do 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 do, and it did not sound anything like that. But I kept on.
You play good bass, by the way, man.
Thank you, brother. I ended up learning like a bunch of Jimi Hendrix songs on bass, not the guitar.
Ooh.
You know that, and like just kind of like played it in my bedroom the whole time. And then
you're gonna make me go back now and listen to like bass lines of Jimi Hendrix. Because of course, it was always the guitar for
the
me.
guitar is great, but the bass lines were solid too, and it was just good ass songs, right?
Yeah.
And then I was going to school to be a firefighter. Recession hit, 2009, got laid off of my other job. And then I was like, oh, it'd be fun to work at Guitar Center. And I've been there ever since. So music has been a part of that since then. I got a roommate that was, that he was a rapper. And I was like, let's play live. So then that was my first venture into performing. And so we did that for a couple years. And then I started a Rage Against the Machine cover band with a couple buddies. We did that for another couple years. And then 2019 hits. I'm in this marriage that's just really not going well. My dad passes away. And then next thing I know, I'm just like confronted with everything, right? And I had been a person that was playing soccer, softball, pickup basketball games, doing all kinds of shit. I was just out. But then when I got into a relationship, it got very, you know, in there. And then when we had kids, it was very like all about the kids and make sure that they're on the schedule and this and that. So like anything else kind of went by the wayside. Yeah. And even date nights went by the wayside, right? So it was very, very tough. So my dad passes away. I'm face to face with mortality now at this point. And we weren't that close. We weren't that close. No, he was old school Mexican. I mean, dude, he came to this country at 15 years old, was deported like 7 times before he became naturalized and all that. So, I mean, that was a hard dude, right? Yeah. And he worked on a ranch, on a cattle ranch out there for his whole life. You know, if he wasn't picking in the fields before that. So just a hard dude. And we weren't that close. And so like, that was one of my regrets as well. And I'm just like, well, what am I doing? And I was having these conversations with people already for coffee. So like we said, you know, like why not broadcast and put that out there, right? And then I'm like, well, I'm already doing this. I was like, I mean, I have some funny things to say. Let me try comedy. Yeah. So then I tried comedy for a bit. Then the marriage was on the rocks, so we separated, but then we came back to work on it. And she's like, well, you got to quit comedy because that was kind of like this weird time in our... I was like, all right, cool. 2 years later, I finally was like, I'm done. I can't. And then I joined a band, touring blues band, and then quit that band because me and the drummer or the singer were butting heads. And then I was like, I need to continue doing something creative and comedy. That's the thing about like Sheila was asking me. She's like, what do you think? Like, what do you really want to do? And I'm like, well, to me, like I love music and it's all that. Like I do definitely want to do that. But, and there's other things, the acting, and I have a bunch of like show ideas and game show ideas and stuff. And I was like, those are great. That's for like a couple seasons at most. But podcasting and comedy, which is basically storytelling, you know, in a sense, that's forever. And it's complete freedom because I can literally talk about anything I want. I can't say like, oh, I can't play that song or that style because it's just not our style. No.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want, you know,
Yeah.
at this point. And so that's what's been very pulling at me. And so this point, it's like, why not test myself? Shit, I might fucking join a dance competition. I don't know. I'm not a dancer, but
Why not?
Why not, man?
What's one thing that you want? What's one of the goals that you want to do with? You got the podcasting, which eventually you can always put that together with storytelling.
Yeah.
Right? But what is something that you're trying to achieve? Like for instance, I want to tell jokes. So the number one person would say, "Well, go do improv or go do stand up."
Yeah.
What is something that you want to eventually achieve to put together that you have that you want to go after?
I think a sketch comedy show would be dope.
Nice.
You know, sketch comedy. But I've known like my comedy is a little bit more storytelling, TED Talk esque.
Yeah.
Like, you know how many times I've heard that where it's like, oh, that felt like a TED Talk. You know, I'm just like, okay, well, yeah, I like that because, you know, I was a big fan of Carlin, you know, and all that. So it's I've always been a fan of like if you can use your medium to educate, why not? So like I liked like a lot of political, you know, hip hop, rock, just in general, you know, stuff that was a little bit more conscious and intelligent. But at the same time, dude, I like to get fucking loose and goof off, and there's a time for everything. But does everything need to be about the club?
Right, right, absolutely. I was gonna ask you too, since we both have like daddy trauma. What was a moment for you where, or if maybe you didn't even discover this moment, but what was a moment for you where you kind of like stopped crucifying your dad? Like, yeah, we have our wants, and we have our needs. I needed this, but eventually I had to learn how to give it to myself. Or I had other male positive role models that did what he was supposed to do. He does have some good qualities, but man, there was a lot of bad. But when did you start? What was a moment that clicked for you? If you reached that moment, or if maybe you still searching it, that you was like, you know what he did was fucked up, and I wanted more. But you know what? I'm not gonna crucify him on this fucking thing no more. I'm gonna give that to me now. Yeah,
he never. I mean, he didn't leave us, right? There was one point in time where there was an affair, and there was like this rocky, you know.
But let me touch on that.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people don't even notice this, but just because they're there, it still feels like they're not there.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
So that's
because
what it
it's
was.
like you're not getting like, hey, this is the idea that I think that what a father is supposed to be helping me with, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you're there, but you're really not there, right? Yeah. So there's a void too. There.
Yeah, I remember my parents not being at a lot of my sporting events, you know, as much as some of my other friends, you know.
Right.
So like you definitely notice that, but it's like, hey, you know, they got to work, they got X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. You know, it's not like I'm in the championships of fucking anything, but still, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, you're right. He was there, but it wasn't like as like present. Like, and we didn't go like fishing or hunting. We didn't do any like those types of activities. There was a point where it got really good when he got really involved in the church, and we were very involved in the church, like the youth groups and and those, and that was really good as well. But yeah, it was mainly like, you know, he knew he was really rough around the edges and kind of hard, and so he knew that like. He's like, well, I'm not going to go because, you know, people don't really want me there and this and that. And it's like, no, dude, you're a funny dude. You're cool. Just get out of your own fucking head. Yeah. You know, I have a lot of guilt in the later parts of his life where, you know, when him and my mom finally divorced after I had graduated. So I had moved out and everything. And, you know, he ran off to Mexico, was kind of doing his own thing. You know, we didn't really check in, but then there was like all these issues that he was having with lawyers, with his workman's comp, because that's why he ended up having to retire early. It was an accident, and he really needed like my help to do things. But I was like, I got 2 young kids. I'm raising raising them. I'm doing this. Yeah. I'm like so busy. But now I'm like looking back, it's like I should have fucking done more. Right. Because I do feel like he felt so isolated there at the end, which he kind of did to himself by moving and being away. Absolutely. That it's almost like I'm beating myself for not reaching out more and tackling that. You could feel that way, and you absolutely, you know, feel that. And also, I would like for you to know too that like he has a journey too that he had to face. Yeah. And maybe in that moment it just didn't call for his son to be there, just like in those moments he wasn't there for you. Yeah. Right. That's
it's his journey to bear. He may not see that in that moment because people sometimes would say, well, they're supposed to do this, right? You do the blame game.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you on the other side where there's no ego, there's no
Right.
anger
Yeah.
that he's like, you've seen the movie. Now you're like, I see where I fell short in certain things.
Yeah.
And I felt, I could have did this, whatever. And in this moment where I feel like it was torture, it was actually teaching me something that I had to learn, but I didn't learn it there because I was full of the world shit.
Yeah.
That now I'm on this other side. I don't have none of that shit holding me, blocking me, that I can see it. So don't beat yourself up so much on that. What did you how did that relate? Because we're both fathers, and I love these conversations too. How did that help you with your relationship with your kids, not really having a father around?
Oh, man.
How did that shape you now to find, like, and you're still learning because we're still growing, right? Your father's voice. Like, what do you take? What do you don't take? How did that help you in your fatherhood journey?
Yeah, well, my pops was just, there was so much anger inside of him, but there was always moments where, he would kind of like try to, give some wisdom and I remember specifically two moments come out. The conversation he had with me after my first girlfriend. Essentially, I don't think we broke up, or she was like, I can't see you anymore because we got caught losing virginity to each other. So I had lied
Shout
to
out
them.
to the virgin losers out there.
I had lied to them, and we ended up getting busted by the cops, and I didn't have my license. I had my my permit, and like, where are your parents? So then her mom got called, and then my parents ended up showing up and at the scene of the fucking crime.
Damn.
And
they
so
collected evidence.
The guy was drinking it, and getting hints of Mountain Dew and.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to walk this line naked.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. I see why she
Hands
likes
up. So I was having a tough time with that. So I know he came outside and was kind of like, hey, it's gonna be all right, man. No worries. You take our bumps, and I can tell you care about her, and I was like, yeah, I do. And then the other time was when my mother-in-law passed away. And my ex-wife was having a really tough time with that. I think it was like right after the funeral, which was December of 2018. And, he was basically just talking her up, it was like, he's like, you're strong. He's like, you're going to do great. You're going to recover. Your kids are, going to be great for having you as a mom. And don't you forget it, and this and that. And it was great, because his English was a little broken too, so it was like awesome to see him, do that. And it was great. And then, 2 months later he dies, and so that was a real rough time in that, my life at that point in general. And those two moments do stick out.
Nice.
And so with my kids, it's just as being as present as possible. And, I wish we volunteered more at all. Like we've been wanting to volunteer for like 2 years, man, but I just haven't actually like locked something down to have the kids do that. Love to like get them like to do actual chores and stuff like that. But honestly, man, they live with their mom. So I get them, like 10% of the time. So when they're with me, man, it's I try to be as fun as possible, not, completely loose, but we're playing video games. Yeah. We're doing, we got my son in parkour. We had my daughter in ice skating. We were taking them to that. And it's really just to be there to allow them to be vulnerable, because we're so preoccupied with who our kids are becoming that we don't take a moment to actually enjoy who they are right now.
Bars.
Yeah, and I'm just like, sit back, bro. You want to everything. I can tell that because when they bring something up and I go, well, guys, they kind of gloss over because they're like, oh, here comes a lecture from dad. And it's not a lecture to like, hey, you're messing up, but like it's to help them out. But
I think a lot of it in the beginning is you instill your time for the discipline and stuff like that and the fun, but a lot of the times is you watching them and letting them show you who they are. They're just like we already came with things within them too. They're still searching it. They're still figuring things out, and they're letting you know. They'll let you know too. Early, I remember my kid, my mom, my sister, my daughter was like, I don't like Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets. She's like 5. Bitch, you ate that shit 3, 4. All of a sudden, you don't like it now. Yeah. But I had to respect that I don't like it now. Just like at one point, I didn't like, a certain type of food, and now I'm like, I don't really mess with it. Or my daughter saying like, oh, I want, she loves dancing. I'm trying to try dancing, or the singing. You could tell, like, she's not telling us she loves to sing. We're hearing it in the room. She'll close the door and she belts out this whole thing, and we're like, yo, you hear that? She got some chops. And it takes me back where I did the same thing in the room, right? We're figuring shit out. We don't want to do it in front of our parents just yet, but we're figuring it out, and she's just like, yes, the other day I was playing my guitar, because I tell her too, because she's very musical, but I tell her too, I was like, you got to show me that you got to practice and you got to do these things. Like, I'm instilling her these things. Like, I don't have to tell you to play. You got to play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and I'm not going to buy those things until you show me that you want to really do it. Oh, yeah. And it's okay that after you do it for some time, you're like, I don't want to do it no more. Breaks are great. I love breaks. And you're still working when you're on break. Yeah, come back to it. Exactly. So I said I was playing, but the other day I was playing the guitar, and I hear her like singing along with me in the room. But then she has this thing that her uncle Carlos gave her, which is like a DJ set thing where she can record and do music and make beats. Oh. So I'm playing my guitar, and now I hear her take out the thing and she's making beats. So now she got inspired through me, through the music to create, and I'm hearing her recording certain things and making beats and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but, she's teaching me that she's musically inclined. She comes with it. She likes it. She'll do it. So I think a big part of it is just us watching our kids and seeing them be a teacher to us, to be like, yo, this is who I am. Yeah. And you're kind of like, okay, I hear you. Yeah. But let me just put, some knee pads here, elbow pads here, go. Like, kind of like, oh, you want to do that? Okay, I'll drive you there. Yeah. You got the freedom to do whatever you want in there, but let me just assist you to get you there. Yeah. Right. So I think that's dope. And, I'm learning a lot about fatherhood, and also, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still selfish sometimes. Oh, I don't want to watch TV with you. I don't want to watch that show. Yeah. I want to actually do this or do that. Yeah. And that's okay. I don't feel guilty for that. Because when I look at the playbook of what I got from my parents, I have excelled tremendously. Yeah. They gave me stuff. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But I would tell her, a lot of these things you're experiencing, I'm experiencing with you as well. And why is that? Because my parents couldn't do it, or they just didn't want to do it. So I'm more of I have a nurturer side to me, but I'm also disciplined and the realist too. And my mom and my wife is a nurturer too, and give the lessons. But I guess it's a great balance, and you need that. Yeah. Right? She'll look at me and say, I ain't gonna fuck with dad, but I could get away a little bit with this, and stuff like that, or maybe go try to butter up mommy. But she knows like dad is gonna come with a lesson, blah 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 blah. But I'm hearing him, and I'll tell her, you understand? Yeah. And she'll say, yes. You sure? Because I could always re-explain it to a way you could understand it. Yeah, right. Which I never had, because growing up,
I'm the parent because I'm the parent. That's
right.
Why.
Because I said so, Ricky. That's why. What I say is what I say. That's it. Yeah. Like, no, but that's not right. Oh, you're a lawyer now? You want to be a lawyer? You're just like your father. Like, it was like, even though I was right in that moment, and rightfully so, I was never right to her. Even to this day, she's 80 years old. And I'm like, Ricky, you the same, you always want to win. Yeah. I was like, no, Mom, I'm trying to explain to you. No, I'm explaining to you that I'm right and you're wrong. Mom, but you said this. I did not say that. Oh my God, Ricky. Just like when you was young, you said I said this, but I didn't say that. And you know what? I'll call you later. I'll call you. Like, it's like, what the?
And that's just a voicemail?
That was a voicemail. But yeah, I think having, I appreciate the freedom that I give to my daughter and she gives to me to like, let's talk about whatever situation just happened. And I'm not going to tell you that that just because I'm an adult that I know everything.
Yeah.
And I'm right all the time.
Yeah.
Your feelings are valid in this moment. But there's also another side that you're not seeing because you're not an adult yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes I find myself like, did I just get too deep with a 7-year-old? But you could see, like, you know your child, right? You could see when the wheels are turning. And then I'll explain to her, when you get older, you will understand this part more.
Yeah.
But right now, all you need to really focus on is this part.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that I'm able to do that now to myself and to nurture that in a family. I could always say, and I think a part of me wish I had that growing up, but I think I value it more after I found it.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I look back,
Yeah.
I can look back not with anger anymore, but like, I get why my mom was this way.
Yeah.
But man, I wish she also knew she had the freedom to be this way.
Yeah, that she could have had that, like, lowered her guard a bit,
You know?
That you weren't going to turn around and use it on her. You know? You were just like, Ma, I just wanted to point this out. You know, I'm not using it against you.
Exactly. And, you know, the more I dig deep into it, like, I could see why, because, you know, the men treat her horrible and stuff like that. And no one really talked about therapy or communication at that time. And, you know, I could look back to my dad and be like, man, he gave me a representation of what he had. So how can I be so mad at him? Yes,
you can, but at certain point there is like that where you're like, all right, there comes a certain point where you know better, you know,
right?
You know, so there is still that, but and
the feelings are valid though. Your feelings are definitely valid. Yeah. But after a while, I was like, okay, why are you holding this validness for so long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to do you any good. Like just it's like, hey, do you want to be right or do you want to have a happy relationship?
And all the time, everyone is telling you, you're right to be angry.
Yeah,
you're right to feel the abandonment. And how many times you're like, right?
But then you're like, I guess that kind of feels all right, but it doesn't change it.
Right. So what do I do now to accept it and to kind of like find healing in it? Mm-hmm. That comes from within. That comes from you to allow yourself to do that. One thing that I mean, it sounds like my wife would tell me, man, that's so morbid. I know before I got to wrap up, right?
What?
I know. Okay. I know.
You good?
You good?
Yeah, you doing
Sheila, you good?
Cool. Sheila, you good? One thing I tell my wife, I'm like, man, you know, when my mom finally transitions, a part of me will be sad, but a part of me will be relieved. Because she's not going to have the baggage of all the pain and the bullshit that he had in this world.
Yeah.
She's going to be on the other side doing everything that she wanted to do. She's going to have freedom. She's going to have happiness. She's going to have laughs. Because I tried so hard in this life to bring those things to her. Mm-hmm. But she makes it difficult for her to accept it.
Yeah.
That I have to downgrade the love that I want to give her.
That
I have to be like, okay, you just want to talk on the phone and be like, Ricky, what did you eat? You ate? You sure? Okay, how's Choo-Choo? She's doing good? Wow, that's great. How's Cloud? Alexa, she's doing good? Oh, okay. No, I'm over here with the same, the pain in the neck, the back. Yeah, I'm watching the TV show. All right, Ricky, I'll talk to you next week. That relationship has been like that for the last 15, 20 years.
And you've tried to...
I tried everything. Yeah. Why don't you come over here? Ricky, you know I get anxiety and the plane, and they say I got a weak heart, and my heart can stop if I'm on the plane. And if my heart stops, who's going to take me to the hospital? I'm on the plane. Mom, you know, your heart's not going to stop. Mm-hmm. You're fine. Ricky, I got pain. Mom, the pain is going to be over here too. Take a Tylenol. Yeah, but I just took one now. Mom, but you could take it later on and like listen to what I'm trying to say. I'm listening, but you're yelling. Mom, I'm not yelling. I'm trying to explain to you that you can come over here. I can't go by myself. All right, what if I get your niece Cheyenne to pick you up? Okay, well, if she comes pick me up and we go on the plane together, I go, really? Yeah. All right. Mom, so I talked to Cheyenne and she said she's gonna go. We're gonna pay for the tickets. Ricky, you don't make a money like that to pay 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Mom, don't worry what we're making. We can, me and Alexa. Oh, now you got your wife to pay for the tickets. I don't have money to give to you guys for the everything is free. Cheyenne's gonna pick me up in a car. She drives. Yes. Ricky, she just started driving. We're gonna die getting to the airport. She's gonna get in a car crash. Why are you always thinking negative? I'm not thinking negative, Ricky. This happened. You know my friend. You know Maria. Her friend picked her up the other day and they got to a car accident. Not going to the airport, going to the doctor. People are crashing out there, Ricky. Yeah. But that's not gonna happen to you, Mom. Just let me do this for you. Yeah. I got appointments, Ricky. I got a doctor appointment for the eye. You know the eye. I'm half blind there. I got an appointment for the shot for my sciatica. That's next week. Mom, I didn't even give you a date for when you're gonna come over here. When is it? It's gonna be around my birthday, January. Ricky, January. That's not good. Oh, why is that not good? Because I got more appointments, Ricky. I'm not doing good, Ricky. Tomorrow I'm gonna die. How do you know tomorrow you're gonna die? Because Ricky, I'm getting old. So you just gotta So I tried. This is me naturally. I didn't script this. Mm-hmm. This is just me living in the moment between the conversation with me and my mom. And this is what happens. And this is not digging on her. I'm just showing you the reality, that she makes it hard for me to love her in the way that I want to love her. Yeah. Where I just had to submit to what she allows.
She's gonna keep you, even her own son, keeping it.
Her happiness is, Ricky, when you come over here, let me cook you something. Mom, you don't have to cook. We order something. I want to cook you something. I don't fight no more. Okay, cook. Well, okay, I'm going to make this. Okay, great. So I meet her there. Yeah. And I feel like, not only just my mom, but I think everybody should enjoy the flowers when whoever's trying to give it to you. Mm-hmm. We should embrace that more. If my daughter gets older, and she says, and I'm older, and she's like, Dad, and let's say she lives in Arkansas. Let's say she has a house in Arkansas. She said, Dad, why don't you just stay with me for like a month? You're retired. You think I'm gonna be, Choo-choo, I'm not gonna go to Arkansas. I'm like, absolutely. Done. You got a spot there? All I need is AC, a couple juices that I like. Yeah. You won't even know I'm there. I bring my guitar every now. Yeah, you got a room. You got everything set up. Don't put me in an air mattress. Just give me a good comfortable. Give me something nice. That's it. Yeah, Dad, we cook. Okay, and bring Mommy too. Okay, Mom, you want to come, Mommy? No, I don't want. It's just me. I'll be there for a month. Dad, why don't we all just get together and do Thanksgiving at your house? Let's do it. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that I wouldn't want to do. Yeah. Like, which is naturally like, if my daughter says, oh, let's go rollerblading, I'm not doing that. I hate rollerblading. I hate skates. I'm not doing that. The first time I fell, I said, this is it. I'm done. Dude, I got to get up all the time for this. Yeah. I was like, I'm done. Ass, I'm done. It hurts. Yeah. It hurts. It doesn't make it easier just because I'm tall. No, it hurts. So she knows. Done. Yeah. Right? But there's things that when I'm older that I'm going to allow them to give me flowers and I'm going to embrace it. I really hope that, I wish as parents that we realize that, it's okay to embrace those moments and we don't have to make it difficult when our kids are trying to teach us something new. It doesn't make us less of a teacher. Yeah. And it's okay if, they like, hey, let's take you out to dinner. Let's take you out to a play. You don't have to be like, no, I'm the one to. Yeah. Yo.
Nah, man, I can't wait for them to be their own little adult, dude.
Yeah.
Just watch them handle shit.
I would love to, like my nephew, I grew up with him. My brother, he married a woman and she had already had a kid. He had a kid too, but his name is Suki. And I met him, I was like probably a teenager, 18. He was like probably 10 or something like that. But I don't know the exact like molding of the years, but I could remember vividly the moment I was in my 20s living now in my brother's basement because I was after college. My nephew was in those crucial teenager years. Oh, yeah. And our relationship was the best in the sense of like, he's reminded me where I was at in that years. And I was became that person to him that I wish I had, but I did receive sometimes through other people in school, like older people. Yeah. So we would laugh, we would hang out, and then when shit got real, it's like, Ricky, can I talk to you? And I listened to him. So I hope and I pray that when my daughter gets that age, that she could be fearful, like, oh, I gotta tell Dad. Yeah. But I want her to break that wall to know, like, let's talk. Yeah. Let's figure this out. You know you're gonna get stone cold truth, but you're also gonna get love. Yeah. I hope it flourished to that.
Yeah, because you can't, man. When somebody is being vulnerable with you, you can't turn around and strike them for it, man.
But you're right. But I think you're absolutely right, and I think, man, it took so much work for me to open up again, because it did, man. It did feel like that for me growing up, where you ever felt like you was telling your truth to someone, but then they made it seem like almost like, am I crazy? I know I'm not crazy, because I know, like, during those teenager years for me, and the back and forth with my mom, and not knowing, right, that, she deals with depression. She deals with anxiety. But it was just, once again, the parent's not going to really open up. I just know she went to therapy. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know what therapy was until I went. I just knew that when she went to therapy, she was a different person. I was like, oh shit, mommy make it sound culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? She had a good session, And then when she didn't see her therapist, it was like, don't get out of her way. She's on her period. Something, like, whatever. She's a totally different person. So I just wish that, like, in those moments that when I was growing up, that, like, I got validated. Yeah. You're right what you're feeling right now. And it's and let your guard down. Like, I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that. I think I would appreciate that so much more than, like, it's my way because I'm the adult, blah, blah, blah. Right? And then I talking to my therapist out there, she was like, yeah, you're right. We can always go down that world of, like, man, I should have, I could have, I needed, I wanted. But have you ever looked at where you at now without having all that, and how you eventually got it when you needed it? Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, you just dropped some gunshots on me. I was like, so in hindsight, he was like, we really don't miss anything that we need in life. In due time, we get it when it's meant to get it. Yeah. And our perspective change as we get older, where you're like, man, I really wanted my dad's love, right? I know I'm forever not going to have, I'm always going to have that hole of not having my dad, the love that I wanted. But isn't that the same love that I'm getting from my daughter? Yeah. And I'm sharing with her? Yeah. Similar, very similar. So you know what that feeling is to a certain extent of what if you had that with your dad. But also, Ricky, didn't you get that when Mr. Bertoldis, your high school history teacher, where you had a guitar and he says, yo, stay after school, I'll teach you. I don't know a lot of these people knew, but these guys who stood around me sometimes and listened to me and gave me stuff, secretly I looked at them as my father. Mm-hmm. In that moment. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Bertoldis is white, but I created a fantasy. It's like, this is my dad, teach me how to play guitar. Yeah. And no one, who's to say that's fucked up? No, this is fulfilling what I need. Mm-hmm. Mr. McLaughlin, there's a lot of white people that did help me, but there were Spanish people there too. But Mr. McLaughlin, I started doing stand-up comedy, and I said, this is what I want to do. I'm doing it after college, on college break, and I'm in New York. And he took me to a band to go see my first concert. I looked at him, I was like, oh my God, my dad's taking me to a concert. Secretly, I'll tell myself. But I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like when another man loves you or cares for you, take you out, hang out with you. I'm like, it's great. But I told him I'm doing stand-up comedy. He was like, what do you want to do with that? This is something you really want to do? I was like, yeah. Just last week I saw guys that was working on a Dave Chappelle show, and I was doing open mics, and they did the show. I was like, I just want to do it. I want to leave college and do this. And I was like, don't leave college. Like, still do comedy. Comedy will always be there. But he said, well, what's stopping you? What's stopping you? I said, well, my mom is not giving me any money to take the train, stuff like that, because, you know, she doesn't have it. And I'm not making money. I'm off on break. He said, oh, so you just need like transportation or something to get you through? That's stopping you to do your dream?
Yeah.
I said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. So we just kept walking in Manhattan. We stopped at the subway. It's outside. You got to go down to take the 123 train or whatever. He said, stay right here. I got to go get something real quick. I said, all right, cool. Because at my stop, I have to go take the 6 train. Because I used to take that train, but I got to keep going to the 6 train, which is 5 blocks down.
Oh, shit.
He comes up for the thing. He's here, man. Go chase your dreams. I said, what is this? And I look at it. He says, it's a monthly Metro card. So you have no excuse now to go do the comedy.
Damn, dude.
I said, what? He said, you better hurry up because you got 30 days. It expires. I said, thank you so much, Mr. McLaughlin. That meant so much to me, man.
Yeah.
Like, it showed me that there's good people out there and anything and everything is possible. And that showed me that, man, this is what love feels like from another man. Not, you know, sexually.
But when you
know what I'm saying? But
when you bury yourself like that, though, when you're being raw and honest, and you're like, this is what I'm chasing, and he sees something in you.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh man, I wish I had. Don't wish nothing. You got it.
You got it.
Your mom couldn't afford it. Yes, she could. She supports you in other ways.
Yep.
But this man saw you in high school, just gave you an opportunity. Stop the pointing. Stop the blaming and grab onto what's in front of you right now and go after it. There's no excuse now. Man, I started doing all the comedy things. I started doing all that. And then a valuable lesson after that also taught me, you pass that shit on.
Yeah.
You're doing a disservice if you keep all the riches. You got to give back. These are blessings.
Yeah.
And eventually these blessings turn rotten if you try to keep it all to yourself.
Right. Yeah.
You got to give back. So any person after that I heard, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And I felt the passion the same way Mr. McLaughlin heard the passion in me. So what's stopping you? Oh, man, I just need money for, like, the gas and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's go to this gas pump real quick. Let me pump your gas. Oh, what's stopping you? Man, I really want to take an improv class, which I did one time. Yeah. And my friend was like, I want to take classes UCB. And I'm like, yeah, that shit is expensive. I did the whole course thing. Yeah, I want to do it. I said, oh, okay. He used to help me with the shows, when one-man shows. And when I got my payment from Eventbrite, I called it the win grant. I was like, congrats, you have won the first award. You're the first award recipient for the win grant. I was like, what's that? Check it out. I gave him $400 to take a UCB class. Dang. I said, go, just like Mr. McLaughlin, I said, go chase your dreams. Wasn't the money the issue for you to take a class? Go do it.
Go do it.
I pass it forward. People might be like, oh my God. No, man, you got to keep doing it. My friend, and this is not me to show how good a person, I'm just showing examples, like, because they just coming to me naturally just talking.
Because of what happened to you.
Right. Out, you know, and just being a good person in life will get you so far in life because, man, I don't care what you believe in. Bad is bad and good. If bad shit keeps on fucking happening to you, you're putting a lot of bad shit out there, man, that is coming back to you. So my friend, another friend of mine, he was going through a tough time when we was kids, bro. We was both 18 or 19, but this kid was like really living on his own. Mm-hmm. His mom died when he was 16, 17. I was there for the funeral. Horrible. This guy was breaking down in front of the casket. In that moment, I'm like, damn, I'm over here bitching and mad about my mom. This nigga's dad, mom is in a casket dead, cold. Yeah. And I still have my mom. I remember telling myself that, like, when you gonna fix your shit? And he's over the casket, crying. Had a hard life, 16, 17, really on his own. He had some family, but on his own. So now I'm coming back from school breaks, and we will connect. Me, my friend Carlos, his name was Ricardo too as well. And he was working at Target, barely making money for to rent a single a room on one bed. Studio. Sorry. You could see the stress. You could see the glow that he once had as being kids and in high school, not a care in the world.
Just the light dimming.
The light just dimming from him. You can see this guy getting gray hairs, hairline getting pushed back. You're 19, bro. You were experiencing life shit. Here I am experiencing life shit, but a different form because I'm in college through the government, financial aid, all that stuff. But his world is real shit world. I got a mom I could fall back on if I really needed to. I'm like, all right, let me just make things right with my mom be here. You know, mom ain't working in college. He don't have that. If nothing works out here, he's on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were just all cracking jokes, naturally talking. I was like, we was like, yo, we're gonna get food. And he was like, I was like, bro, like, we'll just go get Chinese food. He was like, nah, I don't got no money for Chinese food. I was like, bro, you get paid next week. He said, yeah, and then I gotta put that for my rent and stuff like that. I was like, you acting like you don't fucking eat in the house or something. He says, I really don't eat. And we like, wait, you don't got nothing in the fridge? He's like, we got some like cereal. And we was at his house. I said, I got some cereal and stuff like that. I said, you don't have nothing? Not like that. I said, I got to wait till I get paid, but then I can only get a certain amount. But it was calculated.
Yeah.
We get back to my house. And at that time, I was working during school breaks at this company. I was making like summer change money, but that money was helping me for college. So we get back to my hood. I said, Mom, you need anything from Food Bazaar? It's like a grocery store. And she says, no, Ricky, I got everything. I said, okay, where you going today? I said, I want ice cream. So me, Ricardo, my Carlos, we go there with a shopping cart. And I'm like, Ricardo, you like this? He's like, yeah, that's my favorite. Oh, you like that? I start picking all the things. I was like, okay. In the end, we had like all this. And he was like, yo, why you got all this stuff? Even meat, blah, blah, blah. Your mom said, I said, no, this is for you. You're going to take all this and you're going to put it in your house. He said, what? I was like, yeah, it's for you. I spent like $300 or something dollars. Mm-hmm. And I bought that for him and he ended up taking, and then I put him in a cab to take, because he was like, right from so how am I going to take this all the train?
Here's the food. Here you go. See you later.
Figure it out. Yeah. I gave you the food. Now figure it out. So he ended up, he went up, put him in the cab and put him. I felt so good, man, as a human being and as a friend to help another person. To like try to be a small little thing for that moment for them to like help them. And just conclusion, just be a fuck. Don't be an asshole. Just be a good person.
Yeah, man.
Out there in that world. And a good person to yourself. I think a lot of it too. We are.
Yeah, I think so. Because
stabbing ourselves.
Hurt people, right? It's like if you're already hurting inside, you got physical pains, you have freaking emotional pain. Like all you want to do is just like everybody else needs to hurt too.
Yeah, I could keep going. I know you don't have a timer. I'm just keep bringing that up because I know you could chop this up to 1 hour.
Let's bring we're gonna yeah, it's everything. My podcast is raw.
Oh, okay.
Your story is amazing.
Oh, thanks, man.
Like it reminds me of thinking about my mom. I talk a lot of shit to my mom.
Yeah.
My mom trusted me at a very young age to run her business, so.
I could trust you. You're not very trustworthy. No.
Good point. I'm
not at that.
But she I call her like you're black.
Yeah.
So like you can't call your mom by her first name, can you?
No.
I can't.
No. Oh, you could?
I can call my mom right now. Like, what's up, Gail? What you doing, nigga?
Oh, you're crazy. Bro.
You're crazy. I know. Okay. Look at even Sheila's like, what?
Never experienced that. It's just another black person. I saw my friends get smacked up.
No.
Yeah, and I had to be there.
No, 17.
Yeah. 17. But I still played Nintendo 64.
Watch this nigga stuff.
like
never.
Yo, that's
I
crazy.
just explained myself one day. I own her flower shop. And so I was like, nigga, I own your flower shop. I can't.
See, I saw that firsthand, but comedically with my friend Carlos, because his mom, she didn't understand English. Yeah. So she spoke Spanish. So when he would fuck around, I was like, bitch, where my food at?
Oh, he was.
And then I said, bitch, where my food? And all she hears is just yelling, right? And then she was like, Calito, ¿qué eso? Like, what are you doing? He said, mother, I just want some food. It's time for dinner. And then she'll come with the food and she'll set it up. He said, and then he'll go, bitch, that's what I thought. And I'm dying laughing. And then the mom was like, oh, está bien, Carlito, okay, come. And she's like, okay, I will, mom. Like eat.
That is awesome. I like that guy a lot.
Oh my God. Yo, he would have me dying laughing. But if I did that to my mom, Totally different. She understands both. Like, I would be dead. I wouldn't be here in this podcast. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say let's just bring it home, man. Okay. You got your shows. So describe the show. What's it called, and where are these future events? This episode should probably be out in like the next week, right?
Like I'm gonna try to put it out tonight, bro.
Well, hold on, dude. All right. Time in when everybody wakes up.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what the show's about, right? And then I want to ask you a question, and then we could chop up that 1 minute, 2 minute thing.
Cool.
To get your brutally honest feedback of what you thought of the show. Yeah. And then you can send me that clip and I can promote it and stuff like that, right? So, all right. So my new 1 man show that I'm doing is called Vamos a reír un poco. Let's laugh a little. The show is in English. And it's a story about me growing up in Brooklyn, New York. And all the funny characters that was around me in that community at that time. And the story really starts taking off when I find out that I'm going to become a father. So I'm trying to find the silver lining through it all because I have, like, expressed in this episode, daddy trauma, all these issues. Like, how can I become a father or be a father when I never had one around? Mm-hmm. You know, I have all this anger, not only towards dad, but, you know, my own version of what love is. And I meet this woman in my life who's an angel at the end of the day, but I'm still an asshole at times in my own world dealing with that. So the world and life got really heavy and real. And I'm like, yo, I gotta somehow learn from this and find healing from this before this baby's born. So I take you on this hour journey, figuring that out, finding the silver lining, finding the laughter, the light, the healing through it all. And I do it the way I love to perform, with poetry, music, storytelling, comedy, drama, real raw storytelling, and want you to hopefully feel something the way this show made me feel, dig and feel in my life. So that's what the show is about. I was blessed to perform it. We're taking it on the road to different places, but I was blessed to perform it in Tucson, Phoenix, Mesa. We're bringing it back on August 29th in Mesa, Arizona. To Mesa. I think I got one more in me, man. I'm not going to lie. That was something that I told myself, like, let's do it. Like, there's still a demand there. Mm-hmm, there's still people that's interested. There's still people that want to come back and see it. There's still people that want to tell other friends, you gotta go.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't waiting for quote unquote other people in Hollywood to be like, let's do it. Yeah. I'm giving myself the permission to be like, you're feeling a little fearful. Can you bring another 60 people to sell out this thing? You've been hustling and bustling. There's only one way to find out. Do it.
To do it. Yeah.
Bring it back out. Do what you got to do. The story needs to keep being told, and don't stop yourself. Go after the opportunity. So we're bringing it back August 29th at the Main Street Creative Arts Theaters at 4 o'clock, right? I love those type of shows, being a father, 4 o'clock, because then I get to be in bed by 9. So that's a secret love of mine. I'm like, oh, this is great. I get to be in bed by 9. But yeah, man, it's a fun show. You're going to laugh. You might cry. You're definitely going to feel something.
Yeah, definitely.
So now this is where we get that 1 minute clip.
Oh yeah.
When you saw my show now here's why this clip is going to be dope. And not even the clip, just this interaction is going to be dope for me. You didn't know me from a hole in the wall. You only saw Instagram vids.
Well, I met you through a hole in the wall.
The glory hole. Well, no one knows until you get around it. They'll be like, oh, what? Wow, man, thank you. Appreciate that. Yo, you want to get a beer? I'm fucking drenched in sweat. Yeah, like you only saw videos. You saw a vibe. You saw this person. And you was like, you know what? Let's see this, and word of mouth, right? The universe kind of like put things in front of you to be like, yeah, this is interesting to check out. So not knowing anything, what was your experience? What did you think of the show when you finally watched it?
Well, like I said, it was definitely very motivating and just like engaging to see how engaged the audience was with you. And it's a little bit of everything, right? Storytelling, poetry, comedy, songwriting, singing, but it's not too much of any of those. It really was like a really good balance. You have it laid out really well to the point where, you know, it's funny when it needs to be. It gets heavy. I shed a tear or two, you know, rumor has it. But I think it was, at the end of the day, it was very well laid out by you to get an understanding. And man, when your impressions are pretty spot on. I suck at impressions, man. Your impressions are pretty spot on. It felt like I was there. It felt like I'm like in the room with your mom, you know, or man, I'm like on the couch when your dad comes over or something and you're having that interaction with your dad. Like it felt like it was there. Like you have a command of the stage and of time, because to create that brevity, the heaviness, you need to let it breathe a bit. And some people can't do that. Some performers need to like, oh, go, just do everything, you know? It was touching as a father to father, man to man, you know, in a serious relationship. And it connected on so many levels, which is why I stuck around, wanted to say hi and, you know, say my piece. And I've done what I can to promote, you know, what you got going on, share it, and which takes nothing. And setting this up, man, you know, this has been really good. And I'm just excited for more people to see it and spread the word. So you need to get out and check out Rick Wynn's show. Vamos a reír un poco. You're gonna reír y hay chance que vas a llorar. Rick, thank you so much, man.
I appreciate it.
I think we're good. We're good with the taping, but fucking hang out, man.
Yeah. Nah, thank you for that, man. This was dope.
This one time, so pull up a chair. Real talk, no filter. This one time, got good vibes. This one time, got good vibes. This one time, yeah. This one time, got good vibes. This one time, yeah. This one time.
Small percentage of men coming to me or actually coming. So I was like, what she understands. I was like, so yeah, you see all these girls coming or whatever, like, hey, blah, blah. Because they come and actually support these shows, they're more open. So when you do a clip, right? So when you do these clips, like, or when you